What up, YouTube? This is just Justin here today, doing in place of our normal Wednesday show since we did a show yesterday. I'm just going to take a little bit of time and talk about my 6-1 Cherokee run, talk about my CSM list, and just share that with you guys for anybody that's interested. Make sure the audio is working because, oh yeah, golden today, guys. So I kind of YOLO'd Renegade Raiders, sorta, kinda, at Cherokee. I had been kind of practicing with the Emperor's Children, and Emperor's Children, I didn't really like where they were going with the Satan meta. So it was between like this and like quadruple T-Sun Demon Prince list that I had been fooling around with. And all this new CSM stuff started coming out, and I was like, oh, I want to check that out. And I don't even, didn't, never played CSM before ever. This was my first event with CSM. I kind of roughly knew what Renegade Raiders did, and because I had played them at like an event a while, like almost a year ago, I played them, and I was like, whoa, these guys are cool, man. They got all kinds of tricks, and like, especially the Disco Lords. So I was like, but I was looking at the codex and I was like, oh, this is basically EC. Like they like the Lord slaps as hard as a disc as like the Lord Exultant, and like instead of demon princes, I can take um disco lords, and they can make a 12-inch move after they fight. That was crazy. So I kind of just, it was like, even though it was a YOLO, it was still like it was like so much. It was so close to EC that I kind of knew what I was doing pretty good because he's pretty much the same archetype that I'm playing all the time, just with just with CSM doing dark packs instead. Like, and yeah, I'm looking forward to playing the new detachment where I can't dark pack because I've been hearing that maybe the Hurons is better, but taking away the ability for me to dark pack's gonna probably be beneficial to me in the future. So, anyways, this is my opponents here. I ended up getting 16th place. I got bumped out of 15th for opponent win loss. So, but kudos to all these guys that did the X one. Let's see what the lowest number of X and ones there were. So like here's a draw, so 24. So I think there was like 21 other X and ones. So that's pretty cool. They did pretty good. All the talk a little bit about some of my games here. So some of my most hardest games were on day one. Um, Sam Whiteley, he was a weight games guy. This guy was a pretty good guy. And oh, I didn't go through my list yet. Let me go through my list really quick, just for the record. So this is as close to like an EC as my EC list as I could get in CSM. Like I got two lords with two legionnaires, which three hellstalkers, Vastor, and Cipher. Cipher Cipher did win me some games, like straight up. And I kind of wish I would have ran these guys. I had to Demon Hammer with Plasma Pistol. I kind of wish I would have ran them with the Demon Hammer and the Power Fist, which is what I was intending to do to begin with, but I didn't. Um, Vastor was super dope, guys. Like this guy, Vastor was an MVP in a lot of my games, and I don't even. He doesn't look like he'd be that great on paper, but my God, he's pretty good. Two cultist mobs, two legionnaires. Um, this is not like how I would run them probably in the future. I have like two heavy melee weapons and like bolt pistol or chain swords, but I couldn't get any heavy weapons. Like I borrowed all those guys. Excuse me. And two rhinos. Rhinos were pretty Chad and a Satan actually with Dark Pack on lethals. My Mauler Fiend, this guy, this guy is so cool, man. Like his roll sucks so bad, but like for 130 points, he's really dope, and he pairs pretty good with Vashtor, even though a lot of times they're not really together. And then three Noise Marines, like this was those guys were doing the Lord's work, boys, the Lord's work. So, all right. So my first matchup here, I got paired into Sam Whiteley. He was part of Away Games. He was a super cool dude. Um, Now you want to talk about like getting diced? Like this guy, people say not to be like blaming the dice on when you lose a game, but this dude straight up lost his game because of the dice. I mean, he's playing Pantheon. He's playing Pantheon with Deceiver, Nightbringer, Void Dragon, Amtar, and a Transcendent, and a bunch of trash. And this guy literally got dice straight to death. Like when I rolled up to the table and I saw it was Pantheon, and I was like, oh, "This is away games, guy, so he's probably gonna be pretty decent at the game." And um, he had a great plan, but like he failed. So on, I think it was turn two. I had put Cipher on the center, and this was. Let me try to remember what mission this was. I think it was Linchpin. It was a pretty basic mission on layout one, and I had put Cipher in the center. So I was trying to bait the Satans out because he had sent the Void Dragon over toward my natural. So I knew that I was gonna scoop that on round one or round two. Um, but like I had to deal with it. And then he put like the little snake dudes, Amtar and the Nightbringer out. He put them up. Cypher's on the center objective, like square in the center of it, like like I'm just like bait, like using him as bait, like because that was one of the weaknesses of this list. I didn't have like good enough trash really, so I'm gonna kind of adjust that, tweak that going into the next list. But then so the Nightbringer didn't shoot Cypher. The Nightbringer failed like a 6-inch charge, and then he paid the 2 CP to reroll it, and it failed his charge. And Amtar was beside it in the center, also failed his charge. And uh, the Ophidian destroyers, they failed their charge. Like all these things were just right in the center of the battlefield, and they all failed their charges. And yeah, it was game over for him. Like that was pretty much GG. Like because I mean he was probably gonna scoop Vashtor. I would have lost Cipher. It would have been bad. It would have been bad, and it went from being yeah pretty much to went for pretty much that pretty much ended the game for him. And then also I had stole his natural away from him with a Lord unit, and he had only the Transcendent Satan. So I stole that away from him. And then they got Ingress Disco Lord. I'm not sure how he got over there, but I had a Disco Lord go back there and took it away from his Transcendent again. The Transcendent totally bounced on the Disco Lord and killed like all of his trash. So his two Satan were like trying to chase down Disco Lords in his home field. It was uh it was a pretty crazy game. When I rolled up and was like, "Oh God, Pantheon," I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna start the tournament off with a loss. But then I just got lucky as hell on that one. And then after that, I played Jordan. Jordan stuck insider. He was a cool dude. He was playing 60. Holy shit. I just read his list. I haven't read his list name yet. I played this guy. Hold on, I'm gonna read this. Welcome to Cherokee Open, Gentle Dwarfs. I will not lie. The chances of your survival are small. Some of you may even fail to roll their 4 plus to hit. But you have my word, I will use my wound reroll stratagems to ensure that your hammers and axes are put to optimal expenditure. For the fate of your soul is ever my utmost concern. Now come with me, strike down the Satan that rise against us. Allow me to find this golden ticket. I ask this not for my own selfish reason, but for the good of the leagues and its allies. Okay, well, that's a long one, but I read it. That's pretty funny. Um, so yeah, Jordan, if you didn't catch it from this long ass list, is playing Delve, and he had 60 berserks. So he had the Iron Dude that revives him, a Mimnir. I'm not sure. I think he has 12-inch deep strike denial, and Uthar, and then literally just 60 berserks. He had two of the carriers. Ooh, excuse me. Two Earthshakers and two Jaegers. So, like he had a lot of trash packages. Um, this game, this game was pretty. This was a pretty good game, but it was a good game, but also a bad game in a sense. Like Jordan was super cool, and he was a very like good and meticulous player, but and he was beating my ass too, for the record. But he take a 30-minute long turn one, and I was like, ooh, if he does that again, he's gonna time out. And he took like a 20-25 minute turn two, and so on and so on. He ended up timing out on the bottom of four. So like it was a close game, but I had bottom of turn. I think he did like a super good play one time and killed like he got into two of my noise marines, and that was like with one berserk unit and killed almost the both squads of them. And I thought it was game over for me at that point. But then Vashtor kind of came in, and so FLG ruled that the -1 to hit works all the time in melee. So like Vashtor came in off the point, and like he charged Vashtor, didn't do any damage. Vashtor like scooped the whole unit because he like hit 6 sustains, and then he charged another unit and like scooped it. Oh man, it was bad. It was bad. But also, like on the other end of that, like one of my lords went into 10 of the berserks and like left two alive, and then the Delvwork navigator guy like looked at him, and they all came back, and I was like, "Whoa, that was horrible." But anyway, that was a game. It was a game that happened. I felt kind of bad that the dude timed out, and also he forgot to deep strike uh like I think 20 of his berserkers after turn three. But I was bottom of turn, and he realized like at some point during my turn, and I kind of feel bad for not like catching it, but like there like I really couldn't tell with the way he had his army set up that he had forgot to bring stuff in. So I was like, well, you'll be able to rapid one of them. And then I let him put the one on the back of the board, like all strung out. Because which it worked out pretty good for him because he had a strat to up down him. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, you know. So anyway, but in the long run, he timed out. So that was kind of that for that one. If we could have played the whole game out, like if we were at the shop or something, and he probably would have got it, but I don't know. It would have been close either way. Because Vashtor was actually tearing people up. But anyway, let's take a look at the next guy. I don't remember who I played round three. Oh, this was T-Sun game. Okay. Joe Wheat. Yeah, I remember Joe. Joe was pretty cool. So Joe, I thought Joe was a pretty hardcore player, but he hadn't actually been playing that long. Because I rolled up to the table and he had the clock already set, and like he had a T-Sun hat, and his army looked really good, and it was pretty cool. Um, I don't remember. This was still layout one. Um, oh yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, yeah. The Vortex Beast, the Terminators. So in this game, he reserved two 10-man. Oh yeah, let's talk about it, see what he's got. So he had as a Demon Prince with wings, two wizards, a Termy wizard, 10 rubrics, two Vortex Beasts, the 20 Termies, two robots, Zangers with bows, Zangers, just old Zangers. So in this game, my guy, I went over my army really good, but my guy didn't know. This was kind of a funny story actually. So like, if you think about Vashtor in the lore, he's supposed to be like a like almost a chaos god, but like actually he's cheaper than like a demon prince. So like, I guess that the dude like knew about him in the lore, but not on the table. He thought Vashtar was like the Silent King threat level or something. Like he thought he was like gonna do some bad things to him, and like I had like put him out to do an action in No Man's Land, and I had him loan opt, so I was like, he'll probably be alright. Well, homie dropped everything on turn two on the Vashtar. He dropped 20 Terminators, the bow, the bow goats, and the wizard, and the 10 rubrics all came out to like fuck on Vashtar, and um, yeah, Vashtar died. He took like the hazardous took like ended up taking like three Terminators with him. So like I was like, okay, cool. And then my army's like damaged three of the army, so I killed everything on my clapback. Like I killed 20 Terminators, not quite 20 Terminators, because like one Terminator sorcerer, like this the regular 4 wound dude, like lived the whole game. Like my Disco Lord beat on him the whole game, but it didn't matter. But the other Termies just went down. The rubrics went down. Like the Noise Marines were just perfect at killing the rubrics. I think I shot like two Noise Marines at the 10-man rubric and just make murdered everything. The Vortex Beasts were kind of annoying, but I mean, yeah, there really wasn't much to say about that game. He was a really cool opponent. Like I liked that guy a lot though. He's a cool guy. Um, all right, next up, this is where day two was rough because I was I I was I was hammered the night before the event started, and I used all my energy on day one, and then day two or night, yeah, day one night that night also hammered again. So it was like double hangover on day two. But um, I played. Oh, this is when I played Great Knights. Okay, this guy was cool as hell. Michael Farley, he was cool. He was playing Warpbane Task Force, which is like his list: Crow, three baby carriers, a strike squad, an interceptor squad, a land raider, another baby carrier, 10-man purifier, two purifiers, and agents. And so this is the first time I ever played Grey Knights, and I had no idea what Grey Knights did. I actually did read a little bit about it because I figured he's gonna be pretty nasty guy, like not in terms of like him, but like in terms of like being a good player because he's coming into 3-0 and yeah, I had no idea what this did. But I yeah. So apparently it's like deep strikes off the purifiers. So I was pretty cautious um with this and I like screened my whole area out. And he dropped some purifiers into my natural, I think maybe to kill a cultist unit. And then my noise marines scooped him and he put the agents in the center and he put the land raider on his natural. So I did a fat advance and charge with my lord. I think my lord and a disco lord made it into his natural on turn two, and he had dropped down crow and some homies like in the center. This was on layout six, so like the center of the board was like wide open. And somehow I was able to see crow with like I think one disco lord, and I ended up killing like six purifiers or something with a bale flamer. Like it was some crazy shit. Like he dropped them there to try to heroic me and overwatch me, and I like I mean I didn't think the bale flamer would do that, but sometimes the bale flamer pops off, and it popped off that time. So he had lost like on round two, he had lost like two purifiers pretty much. I don't remember where the third one went. Um, and the baby carriers were like super cautious though. So I think I don't remember how I killed one of them, but Vastor basically killed three baby carriers because Vastor came out like charged one, killed it. The other two are like in his deployment zone, like right. They were all three like right beside each other. The baby carrier did in between shooting and fighting with like all the little buffs and rerolls that he had. The baby carrier did two damage to Vashtor, and then Vashtor killed it in the clapback. So after that, my opponent was like, "Yeah, I'm fucked," and he conceded. I think he conceded after that point because it was pretty bad. Like, but he was a super cool guy, super cool dude. Um, I don't remember what team he was from either. Then I played. Then I played Israel Sanchez. So like in terms of like being a skilled player, this guy was probably like the first of like the reals, like I would say like a really good skilled tournament player that I played. And he's playing a list very similar to Seth's. He's playing Tau Ka. So he's got Farsight, Cold Star, Enforcer. So Farsight team is like a lone up guy. Broadside, Crisis suits with Flamer, Sunforge, Piranha, Triple Riptide. One of the Riptides had the Gatler, a Skyray, and a Stealth Battle Suit. Two, oh yeah, you had two Stealth Suits and a Vespid. The Stealth Suits were an absolute nightmare. Like they lived all game because I could not, just could not get those guys. Um, this was a super hard game. I thought I lost this game in the beginning. And then it was like the dice just kept me in the game, man. Like, so he went first. He did a Maka. He scouted everything. Now, grant down, this is layout six. So, like, I was already like deployed on the back of the board edge, like hiding as much as I could. And I played Seth at least one time with Motka, so I kind of knew like what the deal was. I knew he was probably gonna just shove everything into my face if he went first, and that was what happened. So he killed a rhino. He went first. He scouted a bunch of suits. He put a piranha, a flamer crisis suit, and a Sunforge crisis suit. One of them had like a fusion commander, and one of them had a farsight. He put all that in front of me, and uh, yeah, he killed a rhino, and four noise marines, and then the one rhino. This is basically what won me the game. Was this one rhino didn't die? Like he shot a broadside at a rhino, and the four fusion commander at the rhino, and the rhino lived. Because the way my rhinos were like stacked together behind the template, they would have fallen out on the template or like beside the template, and he had all these other guns lined up to just shoot down there, and yeah, it didn't it didn't happen. So I killed on the clapback. I killed everything that he had put in front of me. I charged onto his natural and killed the Sky Ray, I think it is. And those two noise marines that survived, they like lived the whole game. The two blast masters lived the whole game, did rampage on him. He shot a whole riptide at those two guys, like every single gun on the riptide, and did zero damage to the two blast masters, like two basic T5 marines. And I was just like, whoa. Like I got probably more lucky in that game than I should have had. Vastor did some Vastor things into like some some riptides. I never killed the stealth teams or the broadsides. Like I wasn't even gonna try to kill those things because like their output really ain't that big. Like they're not really gonna change the game that much once my vehicles are dead. So I think I charged a unit of noise marines into both of them one time on his natural. That way he couldn't move them up to get a better angle, and if he wanted to shoot one of them, he'd have to fall one of them back. So I don't remember what the score was on that one. That was I got a hundo. Yeah, that was I think that was 100 to 50. So yeah, like after he did the mock con bounced, it was like he was dead. He did. All right, then up next I played Seth Oster. This was a fun game. So this was Star Shatter, and this was day 3 on layout 4. So I yeah, I didn't really practice layout 4 at all. Um, this is where kind of like when and kind of where my list weakness kind of got me here was I didn't really have any good trash. Like I think if I was gonna run the same list again, I'd drop a Lord and put 2 bike units in just for like this type of matchup. But this was a super tight game, and I wasn't even mad about losing it because I mean everything was super tight. Um, I committed into the Void Dragon, and he didn't die one time. That was like a big swing of the game for me. Like I got the Void Dragon down to 3 wounds, and then I charged it with a Disco Lord and did 0 damage to it, and I was like, you know, that was like, cause yeah, after that it like reanimated like 2 or 3 wounds, and then I know it for sure. It got 3 wounds off of like doing the little thing it does to vehicles, because I had a rhino next to it, and that was bad. So I had to spend the whole extra round dealing with the dealing with the void dragon. But it kind of like balanced out throughout the game. So that wasn't really the probably the reason I lost the game. I balanced out a little bit. I I forgot to move a cultist unit onto an objective one time, and then I forgot to. I didn't really forget, but so like I was planning on the void dragon dying one time, and then he didn't. It kind of fucked me. So then I was planning on the void dragon not dying because I was gonna charge on to his expansion, but then he died in shooting, so I didn't get to go on the expansion. So that was kind of like lame for me. I could have just like walked onto it and got an extra 5 with another unit, but I didn't. So in such a tight game, like little mistakes like that mattered a lot. Um, but I got lucky. I killed the Nightbringer. The Mauler Fiend all like halfway killed the Nightbringer. Like the Nightbringer charged him and didn't kill him, and then the Mauler Fiend hit him for ugh, like 10 or 12 damage or something. Like he ended up taking like 7 or 8 after the Feel No Pain. So that was like not killing the Void Dragon kind of got balanced out by like I kind of scammed the Nightbringer and got him like way easier than I should have. And then I killed the king pretty easy too. Like he was effectively tabled at the end of the game. He had finished I think when he finished the game he had a whatever the long boat is, the DDA, and he had the storm dude, uh Emotech. Yeah. That was a good game though, man. That was a real good game. But like I was getting threes on primaries the whole time. That really was what killed me. Was like I went first and then I got threes on the primaries like I think 3 turns. And one of the turns was like my fault, like straight up my fault, but not the other ones were not. Also my secondaries weren't that great early and but yeah, it was it was a good game, man. It was a good game. He got me there though. I don't remember what the final was. Um, I finished with 59. I think he was like in the low 60s or so. What I don't know what we actually submitted, but it was a really close game. Um, and check out my last games, make sure this ain't going. Holy shit, it's going for 30 minutes. It's a long video. All right. Then the last game here, I played Cameron Zari, and I think he's from Georgia, so he's a pretty close guy. This was this is exactly how I would play Chaos Knights if I was gonna play Chaos Knights. So it was really cool to play this. He had 3 Nurglings, 10 Plague Bears, 6 Stalkers, 3 Carnivores, and 4 Brigands. And this was again on layout 4, so this was like nightmare deployment zone. Like I This is all dog go to heaven. All right. So I played this guy. This was a really cool CK list. And Cameron was a cool guy too, man. From Georgia Warlords. So, so in this game, this was layout 4. This was like tipping point. So I was like ballsy and tried to not deploy, try to not reserve any of my army. But I was basically like on the back line of the board, and he was telling me like these stalkers. He put all these stalkers on the line where they could scout up, or they could scout behind the terrain, and he ended up going first and scouted everything at me. He basically mock called me like the towel guy. And let me try to see. Let me try to remember what he killed, what he got for his mock call. He got a stalker like 3 inches away from my home objective. I'm pretty sure he killed a rhino. I'm pretty sure he killed a rhino. I know he killed a rhino for sure. I think that might have been all he did. I think he might have just DMX'd some noise marines. But like homie was like jailing me with war dogs. It was bad. Like I was like, oh my god. I didn't know if I was gonna make it out of that one. Um, Trying to think how did it how did it kind of turn around? I mean, Noise Marines picked up one. I think the Noise Marines picked up the night. Noise Marines and the Disco Lord picked up the one on my home. Another Disco Lord went out and picked up one on its expansion. The Chaos Lord came out and picked up one. I had a couple of activations where the Noise Marines like scooped a baby because like I guess it's a little bit important to say too. Like he had 13 babies, I believe it was. He put like five on one flank, five on the other flank, and like five of them came at my home objective, and like the other half came at my natural, and he just full sent it. Just was like, and I was like, golly, man, no wonder this guy's like made it to X and one because there's not probably many armies in the game that can handle like getting that many babies just dumped on them like right off the rip like that. But I'm kind of playing like a pressure list as well, so like he kind of like delivered them all to me, and then I just had to like smack them down, and that's pretty much what happened. I mean, like I I ended up tabling him somehow. Like I don't know how I did it, but I did it. Vastor was definitely a big help in that, and the Disco Lord, the Raider Disco Lords actually were like just wholesale killing a baby whenever they touched it because like if they're on the objective, they're AP4, so they don't even get a save. So now that was pretty much that, boys. I didn't I didn't get a chance to play Space Marines. I played a couple of Necrons, but that was pretty much that. I mean, I wouldn't change too much about this list if I like Renegade Raiders, which I do like it, but that was kind of just the only CSM detachment I knew. I'd probably just drop 90 points here and 90 points there because there was a couple of games where I won and like the dude never got out of the rhino or like never made it to really do anything. I really didn't have like enough like trade pieces because the cultists are pretty slow. Like they eventually get out there to start doing stuff, but they're pretty slow and they just kind of get dead easy. But that's that, guys. I think we'll call the video there. That's just a quick bat rep. I mean, you can talk forever about events. I mean, that's 39 minutes of bat rep. Like that's a lot. So anyway, guys, if you got any questions, drop us a comment. I'll respond to anything pretty much, and toss us a subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.